What's up, everybody? This is the Palmer Squares.
And you're listening to the Average AF podcast.
This is Dan Cummins, and you're listening to the Average as Fuck podcast.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Catalyst Bars, and you're listening to the Average AF podcast. Let's get it.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Average AF podcast.
What
this
up?
is episode 54. I am here with Ryan Baker, rocking the brand new Average AF podcast merch.
Get that merch.
Love it.
Fits so nice.
Yeah, it looks super comfy. I haven't gotten mine yet, so I'm pretty upset about that. But everybody that has gotten there said they love it. Super comfortable, fits super well. So I'm excited to get mine. Everybody that's gotten there so far are the people that have ordered the sweatshirts. So those probably shipped out first. But yeah, so if you ordered something, definitely look out for that. When this episode comes out, you should probably have it by then, I would assume.
Yep.
But
Unless you just ordered it.
Well, right.
I just ordered another one for Danielle, and it's going to be here like August 12th or something like that. For like 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys get some merch, definitely send us pictures, post them on your socials, all that kind of stuff. You know, if you send it to us, we'll definitely post the picture on our Instagram and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. But we did have a couple announcements just like normal, just to kind of get them out of the way. The first thing is the new logo.
It's sweet.
Yes, I'm so happy how that came out. It was done by our good buddy Brandon Caballero, same dude that did the original logo as well. This one actually back here.
Shout out to you, Brandon.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Definitely follow him on Instagram. It's Mr. So Mr. Cabalhero. So Cabal Hero. I don't know why you spell it like that, but
creative. Yeah,
that's not how you spell his last name, but whatever. He does great work, and I definitely want to kind of shout him out and thank him again because, like, dude, I would honestly say there was probably at least 30 to 40 minor adjustments.
Oh, yeah, me and you were going back and forth.
Right.
Like, oh, let's try this, let's try that.
Right. Well, let's move this down here, but then this, and then maybe the font's different, but what about the color? Well, like, but it's a little off, and, like, there still needs to be something. Like,
he's definitely got patience, man, dealing with us.
So, yeah, so I thanked him, like, 100 times. He's like, dude, stop. Like, this is part of the deal. So, he definitely does kind of minimalistic logos, kind of, you know, the one we got's probably, I don't want to say the most intricate, but pretty fucking intricate for,
it is.
For, you know, any type of logo. So definitely hit him up if you're looking for something. So big shout out to him. But another thing, by the time this episode comes out, we'll actually be at 5,000 audio streams. So thank you guys for that. The goal, kind of when me and Steve started, once it kind of got rolling and stuff, we were like, I wonder if we can hit 5,000 in the first year. And on the 10th, which I believe is next Monday, that'll be a year since our first episode was published.
Yeah.
And we'll be beyond the 5,000 mark then. So
does it feel like a year?
No, it doesn't. It does not. It's actually kind of weird, too, because my year at work is on the 5th, which is the day that this comes out. So, like that Monday, basically, I started at my job, and then I think it was that Friday we released the first episode.
That's dope.
So yeah, it was weird timing. It's a whole new. It was definitely like a whole new life, I guess. You know,
yeah.
a lot of big changes.
New job, new podcast.
Right. And then kind of the last update here, on Fridays, I'm going to try to do them at 9 a.m. This last week it was at noon, but I'm going to try to release them at 9 a.m. But we're releasing our segment called The Tobies on YouTube for the public. So these were actually previously reserved for our $5 members on the Patreon. But we're kind of going to release them week by week like we did then.
Yeah.
And they're actually like 3 months old at this point. So the one we released on Friday, which was like I think the 31st, July 31st, that one was originally published April 27th.
Crazy.
Yeah. So you'll see that. You'll get a little dose of Steve as well because these are all with him. But you'll also see kind of the studio, the setup here kind of change throughout each week because you look at that first video or that first Toby and it's like bare. There's nothing here. There's like nothing anywhere.
No logo back there. No shoes. No nothing.
And you'll just see that kind of slowly and gradually increase like it did in real time. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, definitely check those out on Fridays. The Tobies are, it stands for Think Outside the Box episode. And we just try to get you guys to, think outside the box and think about shit that you might not have before and different angles and stuff like that. So
right.
I'm definitely excited to share those. But this week we are kind of all over the place with topics.
Yes, we are.
I do want to mention too, like, this is me and Baker's second episode, obviously recording just us. I have now basically a year of podcast experience. Baker's kind of new to it still.
I got some guest appearances.
Right. So we're still kind of feeling each other out and, trying to get that groove that, me and Steve had and stuff. So be patient with us, but it's coming.
We getting there.
Yes. But we actually just kind of stumbled upon a conversation right before we recorded here. And we were like, all right, let's save this for the podcast because this shit's wild. So
right.
I don't know how it came up. Actually, I do know how it came up. It's another topic that we're going to talk about later. We were basically talking about the WNBA salaries.
Yeah.
Compared to the NBA salaries, which we'll get to in a minute. But somehow it brought up Jeff Bezos and his money and his wife's money.
Insane.
Yeah. So I think it was last year they got divorced, and the settlement of the divorce was $38 billion.
God.
Yeah.
$38 billion.
Yeah, that's insane. That is insane. So then we got curious and looked up Jeff Bezos's net worth, which is $181 billion. So we did some quick math. Let me pull this back up here.
Which thank God for calculators because I'm horrible with it.
Yeah.
When you were quizzing me.
Yeah, there's no way we would have ever been able to do this without a calculator. But $181 billion just in general, how's that make you feel?
I don't even, I can't even explain.
Yeah,
there's no words for that.
Right. I'm excited, I'm excited to make a couple bucks off a hoodie. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like a couple bucks.
Dude, I was pumped with the first stimulus check.
Right.
$1,200.
Right.
But
right.
$181 billion?
Right. So we did some quick math here. $181 billion. Oh, man, I just cleared my calculator because I'm an idiot. $181 billion. That just looks fucking crazy on a calculator.
All the zeros.
Right.
I like how I had to landscape it.
I do. It won't let me. It won't let me type enough digits if I have it this way. It runs out of room. So you have to do this. It's fucked up. But that'll tell you something. So we did some math here, or the calculator did some math here, and I asked Baker how much you think you would need to spend in a day for 300 years to spend $181 billion. In a day for 300 years. So 365 times 300, that's like 9,000 days or some crazy shit.
A lot.
10,000, yeah, I don't even know. But in that long, do you remember what your guess was? I don't remember.
I didn't guess on that one. I guessed on the year.
Okay.
When we did it for the year, and
but
I was still off.
That was $1 billion. So yeah, if you needed to spend $1 billion in a year, I think it came down to what, $2.7 million a day.
A day.
A day.
Jeez.
Insane. So for $181 billion to spend that in 300 years, which is longer than the United States has been.
Right. That's just generation after generation after generation.
That's 10, 12 generations probably.
At least.
Something like that. Yeah, probably more than that. But to spend that in 300 years, you would have to spend, we'll basically say $1,653,000 per day. So basically, a little over 1.6 million a day for 300 years, and you'll spend 181 billion.
Be set.
Yeah, it's just insane. And then we got on the conversation about, like, around here, a pretty awesome salary is like $50,000.
Yeah, like that's a good salary around here in Mansfield.
Right. Yeah, it's, I mean, I don't know. And like $50,000, it breaks down to what, like 20 something an hour?
Yeah.
23, 24.
And we're talking about making that in a year. And what we just did was spending 1.6 in a day.
Right. For 300 of those years.
Oh, right.
It's insane, dude. It's insane. I don't even, and like that, this is a whole different story, but like when people are talking about like taxing the rich and things like that, like, dude, this guy has enough money for his family, like, to responsibly be good for like thousands of years. Right. Like legitimately thousands of years.
Gosh, it's crazy.
Actually, I kind of want to do that now. So like it's probably simple math, but just because I'm an idiot, I'm going to do this. $181 billion divided by 100,000. So if your family spent $100,000 in a year, which is pretty fucking good money.
Right.
$100,000 in a year, it would take you 1.81 million years to spend that.
To spend all of it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine.
Dude, so they are good. That's 100,000. So, I mean, even if they spent $1 million, I mean, you're good for 500 years.
500.
At least. Dude, yeah, it's insane. Like, I don't even know what to say about that.
No,
it's just something that came up, and we're like, what the fuck? Like, let's talk about this on the podcast.
All the Lambos we could buy.
Right. But then, so, again, the reason we brought it up is because we were actually talking about the WNBA because I had a fire tweet.
You did. You did have a fire tweet.
It's a dick move, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, just because I know a lot of our listeners don't watch sports that often, but basketball started back up, WNBA started back up. The fans in the end, there's no fans in the arena, right?
Yep. No fans in the stands.
In the NBA, they have like a live stream type thing to where you can be put on the TV, and it'll look like you're sitting in a chair. Like, yeah, it's kind of weird to explain. So there's people watching the game from these huge ass TVs on the sideline, but there's nobody physically there. But I don't think for the NBA, at least the one I kind of watched for 2 minutes, didn't have anybody on the TV screens. It was just like ads or whatever the fuck it was. So I tweeted out, it's kind of a dick move, but I think it's hilarious. They have no fans in the stands or even watching on the fucking TVs, but I said, I'm glad the WNBA can still be played with the same amount of fans.
I'm still surprised you haven't gotten shit for that yet.
Yeah, I actually haven't. That was sent at 12:01 a.m. Mm-hmm. It was right after midnight, and I was about to pass out, and I'm like, I wonder if I'm about to get blown up, and like
that was just racing through your mind before you went to bed.
Yeah, yep. And I was like, I'm gonna do it, and see if I wake up to just a million notifications. Like,
right,
you asshole, like whatever. Nothing. It's just for comedy, but I think it's funny. But we looked up WNBA salaries, which is why all of this kind of came about. Right. Do you remember what
it blew my mind.
What was the highest salary for? I think it's
like $170,000.
Something like that, yeah. And like
for the WNBA.
Yeah, in the last, I think that was 2018, 2019 numbers, something like that. So $170,000 for the best WNBA player, right?
That's crazy.
Now that's good money, right?
It is.
That's not good money for a professional athlete.
No. And shout out to these women too, though, because I mean, basketball is a hard sport to play with in general, but
but $170,000 for the top, lady in the WNBA. Steph Curry, kind of for comparison, That same year, Steph Curry made $34 million.
Jeez.
Yeah. LeBron, I think that same year made 33.
That's insane.
Which is what, like, roughly 150 times more?
Yeah.
Something like that.
And this was as of 2019, these numbers that I saw. I had to do my little bit of research beforehand.
Right. But yeah, so I wanted to get on this topic, and this is probably not going to make a lot of the ladies happy, but whatever. I'm all about pissing off women lately, so.
Hey, you are, though.
Dude.
It just comes natural to you, I think.
Look, man, when I'm single, it's
all bad.
No, it's all good, dude. That's the difference. It's all good. It's all fucking good, dude. But now, like, I kind of hate the argument that a lot of, like, women say, like, well, they should be paid the same and things like that, which I understand. On the surface, that makes sense. We're all for equal rights and all that kind of stuff. Equal pay, all that, fun stuff, whatever. But
right.
But the problem with that is, like, you're not supporting the women. Like these women always say, like, well, you should support the WNBA, like all this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, bitch, you're not in the stands. Like, where's your jersey?
Right.
Like, where's your season tickets?
Are you watching them every single night on TV?
Right.
Nope.
The reason, and I don't know if it was us, me, you, and Steve, or it was just me and Steve, or whoever it was, I don't remember, but we were talking about, professional athlete salaries. Mm-hmm. And it's like, the market dictates that. Yeah. So, like, everybody is upset that they make a ton of money, and they shouldn't because it's a game and blah, 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 which I agree with that too. But at the same time, like, you're the one buying $100 tickets. Like,
which, by the way, the ticket price for NBA averages $89.
NBA?
To WNBA.
Yeah, okay.
$17.42.
$17.42
for WNBA.
Right.
Like,
and you bitches still aren't in the stands. Like, no, you know what I mean? So I get that, and I want everybody to make equal pay and all that kind of fun stuff. But, like, you're not supporting them either.
Yeah. And there's even a huge difference. I mean, again, just researching all this stuff, like the revenue that the NBA brings in is uncomparable to WNBA.
Go for it. Let's hear it.
$7.4 billion for the NBA. Compared to,
by the way, Jeff Bezos has 20 times that. So, fun fact. He could buy the NBA 20 times.
Right. But well, just think how much he can buy the WNBA, which revenue is $60 million.
Jesus. So $7.4 billion compared to $60 million. What's that? I mean, that's, I don't even know
how huge difference.
Right. That's like 30 times or something like that. But, like, again, I'm not trying to, like, shit on the ladies or anything like that. But, like, it all comes down to the product too. Like, you talked about, let's hear about the YouTube video you watched.
All right. So, again, I don't really watch sports that much, so I had to kind of get myself in tune with it beforehand. So I was YouTubing the top 5 dunks in WNBA. Not impressed.
Right.
Like, not impressed.
Nope.
3 of the top 5 were, like, one-handed dunks, and then the top 1 was literally just a two-handed dunk.
It's so insane.
So insane.
And, like, I remember, it's bad, dude. I'm 28. I'm not, like, an old man. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like it, and, like, attitude-wise, maybe. But, like, I'm a pretty young dude overall. But I remember, like, when I think it was Lisa Leslie dunked for the first time in the WNBA. Mm-hmm. And that was, like, a big deal. And I'm like,
you see it, like, 80,000 times in one game.
Right.
In the NBA.
We can go to Mansfield right now and just fucking sit courtside. Somebody's going to dunk in the next hour.
Right.
And it's going to be better than hers.
Right.
And she's only, like, what, 6'10"?
Yeah, she's got some good height on her.
Right. But, like, if you're
nuts.
Like, it just upsets me, man. Like, I want everybody to have equal pay when it comes to, like, an office job or, like, kind of a regular job. But when it comes to a skilled job, like,
and it's also about the entertainment.
Right.
I mean,
the market.
Yeah. I mean, even watching, going back to the fight that we saw in the NBA.
Right.
I mean, there was some for the WNBA, and it was more of just like a cat fight. Let me pull your hair and stuff.
Right.
But like, no, dude, there's punches thrown and Artest going into
Right,
stands and stuff
right.
like that. Like the NBA fights got insane.
Well, right, and I don't think they're trying to market those.
No,
but,
not at all. But
like, yeah, it's just it all comes down to entertainment value, marketing value, all that kind of stuff. And don't come at me if you're saying, well, you know, you hate women. Like, I don't know. But, like, don't come at me saying I should support the WNBA if you have no WNBA merch and haven't been to a game in the last 5 years.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't think I know anybody who's ever been to a WNBA game.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't.
Like, and again, I'm not shitting on them. But,
No, not at all.
But, like, you don't compare as far as entertainment value.
True, which is what it's all about.
Right.
It's all about that.
I don't know. It just always upsets me, especially kind of the players' salaries in general when people get upset about it. It's just like, look, this is what, like, if you don't want them paid that much, boycott the $100 tickets and say we're only going to buy $20 tickets. But guess what? That arena's still going to sell out at that price. Like, because it's a good show. It's a good sport to watch. It's entertaining and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It just upsets me. Any final words before I piss some more ladies off?
No, I think you said enough.
Okay.
But I mean, to your point, like equal opportunity, equal pay, and all that stuff for an office setting or like a typical job, that's understandable. But definitely not when it comes to
When it comes to
or sports.
Yeah, any type of entertainment, any type of kind of skill type thing. Like even if you're doing construction, right? On the surface, I think everybody should be paid the same, male or female. But at the same time, if this crane operator is way better than this female crane operator, he deserves more. If the female crane operator is better than the male, she deserves more.
Right.
Like
it's all about experience.
Yeah, it comes down to experience, skill, value to the company to some extent. You know what I mean? Or I guess to a lot of extent.
Right.
But like,
there's so much that plays into it.
Right.
So much.
But yeah, I just definitely started off the episode pissing off all of our female fans.
You did.
So
You did.
thank you.
If you're still listening,
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you if you're still watching. I'm just trying to go towards our demographic, which is ages 18 to 34 male. Right. That's our main demographic. But it's cool, ladies. I don't hate you. It's just you gotta be honest with yourself.
I feel it.
That's all I'm saying.
I feel it.
So if you're a lady and you're still listening, please give me some feedback. Try to be open-minded. I can take it if you're going to call me an asshole. Like, that's fine, too. But at least, like, post it on social media so we get some attention.
Make it known.
Yeah.
Make it known.
Yeah, just call me out, call me an asshole, and then people might be like, hey, what did he say? And then we get another view. So
now your phone's definitely going to be blowing up.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with it. It's whatever. It's as they say, it's a hill I'd die on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I'm not shitting on anybody. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
sometimes truth hurts.
Yeah, it is what it is. So we're gonna move on to the next topic because we just lost half of our listeners. Real quick, actually, this is super random, as the whole episode's gonna be.
Right.
But this is something. So this is dumb. Okay, so don't judge me. But I was hanging out with somebody earlier, and they were sitting on the floor doing something, like whatever, and they stood up and they said, man, my foot's asleep, right? And they're like limping and like walking off and stuff.
Oh, I know how that is.
Yeah, and they're like, it hurts so bad or like whatever. My feet have fallen asleep a lot. You know what I mean? You get the tingles and all that. But my feet have never hurt. Like, it's never hurt. Does it hurt? Because
I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes you get that like pokey needle feeling sometimes.
Well, right, like I get like the staticky feeling.
Yeah.
But it like, I'm just like, it's a weird feeling, but it doesn't hurt.
Maybe your pain tolerance is just higher.
I guess. But then like people stand up and they're like, oh, my foot's asleep. Hopefully I don't fall because I can't feel it on the ground or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, just walk like normal. What do you like? It doesn't matter if you can feel it or not.
Just walk like normal.
Like, your hips can still feel when your foot is put on the fucking floor.
But it feels different.
So? Walk, bitch. Like, what are you talking about? Who cares? I have never, so, I'm sorry, but, like, I have never had my foot be asleep and be like, oh, I'm worried about falling.
But do you limp?
No.
You don't limp. You just walk normal?
Yes.
Like nothing happened.
Yeah.
You a champ.
I didn't.
I limp when it happens.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's just natural for me
Why?
to do that. I don't know.
But it's natural for
Let me
everybody.
ask my foot. No response.
Well, he doesn't have a mic, let's be fair. But I'm dumb. But
That was super random.
yeah, no, but like I've just never understood when people are like, "Oh, my foot hurts because it was asleep and all the blood's coming back." And like, "Oh, I can't walk right now. I got to wait till my foot's back awake."
Yeah.
Bitch,
I don't
fucking
say it out
stand
loud,
up.
but sometimes I think I'm going to fall.
No.
Yeah,
you're
it
not.
just feels weird. It feels like it's just not there.
Sure, I get that. But like your foot's asleep or whatever, that doesn't mean the top of your leg's asleep. When you put your foot down, you can still feel it in your legs.
Yeah, but then you get that tingly feeling.
So, that's not going to make you fall. Are those tingles going to like knock you over? Do you think it's an earthquake under
It
your
could.
feet?
I bet you it's happened to somebody.
It has, but
You
they
see?
have an IQ under 70. I can promise it. I think I'm just trying to upset everybody today. I don't know why.
Oh, shit.
But I don't know. I just had a note in here about that. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, that one caught me off guard.
I know. I was reading it while we were talking before this, and I'm like, I'm not even going to bring that up, like,
No.
before the
that completely caught me
episode
off guard.
just because it's so stupid. Like, for me
mean,
to
it-
even think of.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know.
But, like, I don't get it. I'm like, just walk like normal. Your foot's not going to give out on you.
I got nothing.
Why do people
Because
limp?
I don't know.
Why do people think they're going to fall when their foot's asleep?
It just feels like it's not there.
Sure, I get that, but it is there.
But it is.
And guess what? You can also look at it. So like you
but
just,
I can't feel it.
So can you fucking see it hit the floor? So make sure you don't roll your fucking ankle when you put your foot down.
Maybe that's what I'm worried about.
Learn to walk then. So you're telling me. Okay, so we're gonna analyze this. So, like, we need to more. I think
Right.
I'm beating a dead horse here. But like, so you're walking, right? Are you sitting down? You're thinking you're gonna walk. Your foot's asleep, right? So you think that you're just gonna happen to have your foot sideways because it's asleep and just roll it.
No, I think I limp, personally, me. I think I limp because if I put all the pressure down on it, I think that's when I get that static feeling.
But okay, and that hurts.
Yeah, at times.
See, for me, it
Depends on
doesn't
how
hurt.
long it's asleep for.
Well, I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
But like even then, like if I have to, I can look down and be like, okay, my foot's on the ground. Let me take another step.
Is that how you tell
Okay, my
yourself
foot's
too?
on the ground. No, I just
Is that
fucking
what
walk.
is that what the voice in your head sounds like?
That's 99% of the time, but that's not relevant to this conversation. But like I don't know. I don't get it, and I'm weird, and I notice these little things. But they were like, basically, the person I was with earlier was like limping throughout the apartment, and like, oh, my foot's asleep, like, oh shit, and like in my head, I'm just like, so fucking what? Like,
I'm surprised you didn't say it out loud.
I almost did, but we're not like, I don't know. I've been pissing this person off a lot lately, so I'm not trying to like piss them off even more. Until they watch this episode.
All
I
right,
guess.
I was about to say. You're 2 for 2 right now.
I don't care, dude.
Man, you are on one tonight.
Look, people are dumb. That's basically the moral of the story. And then, so another hard left turn. We wanted to talk about being small versus being large.
Yeah.
Because this motherfucker...
Which we can compare.
Yeah. Oh, what are you trying to say?
That I'm small. I'm a small dude.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Quick with it. You're the one pissing people off, not me.
Baker, I don't know why, man. I've just been like...
On one?
A lot lately.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't care.
I see.
It's a problem.
It's all right.
But it's also not a problem.
Probably makes you feel better getting it out.
Yeah, it does. And, like, it's
Until
not
the
a
next
problem
one.
because I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
that's what makes it not a problem. But, yeah, we wanted to talk about, like, the difference in, like, especially our body temperatures, like, in general. Like,
Yeah.
the house is usually around 68 degrees here, something like that with the AC on.
Which is cold for me.
Yeah, and I think it feels great.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want it a little lower than that.
That's insane.
But yeah, Baker's over here like always. If you look at the episode with me, him, and Steve, what, episode 52?
Yeah, when I had to get your hoodie.
Yeah, for the first half of it that fucking recorded the first time.
Yeah.
You'll see Baker in a hoodie that's a 3X because his bitch ass is cold. No.
Freezing.
But yeah, I'm like, dude, it feels good. And then Steve leaves here sweating and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, me and him are both big dudes,
I
but
feel like I just got out of a freezer.
see, I'm in shorts right now, no socks, like bare feet. Like, I feel good.
I'm in
right
a
now.
hoodie and jeans
Right.
and still a little cold.
And you wanted your hood up to start.
Yep.
And you're like, dude, it's cold though.
But the
Like,
headphones make my ears warm, so I'm good.
there you go. Dude, we could get like fluffy like pink things, like make them
I'd
look
rock
like
'em.
earmuffs.
I'd rock them.
I wouldn't. But but yeah, so what are some advantages of being a smaller guy?
Dude, I can fit into small places,
That's very true.
like, easily. And
Yep.
being smaller usually comes with smaller hands, so I can get my hands into, like, different places.
That's fucking true, man. Like, I'm trying to like work on my car or do something.
Yeah.
And I just like legitimately can't fit my hand in there. And I have to like ask a female that's around, or like sometimes my mom. I'm like, Mom, can you fucking
Can you just reach in there, please?
yeah, can you just grab this? Like, my hand literally doesn't fit. Like, I got some decent sized hands. Okay, so yeah, you definitely got a benefit there.
Yeah.
What else?
That's about it. No. I don't know, man. I can think of a lot of downfalls about being little.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like
what
when
you
it's
got?
like 20 mile per hour wind, sometimes I feel like I'm going to get blown over.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
straight up.
Okay.
And just as we talked about, dude, I'm always cold.
Right.
Like, I don't know if that's just a thing about being little or like something with my blood type, or not blood type, but like.
Well, it actually it's kind of interesting that you brought that up. It does have to do with your blood pressure.
Yeah.
Because I was put on blood pressure medication like a long time ago, and only took it for a little bit of time. Like, I'm gonna die soon, but like it slowed down. It like lowered my blood pressure, obviously, and I was fucking freezing
Yeah.
like the whole time.
Now you're going to make me go check my blood pressure.
And it's because my blood, pressure slowed down and stuff like that. And I was just so fucking cold. And I was like, I can't do this. I'd rather have high blood pressure.
I'd rather stay warm.
Right. But yeah, it's what did you say before we recorded? You were like, I'd rather not be cold or whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like,
It's weird. Like, I like hoodies and stuff, and I typically wear them all the time because I'm cold.
right.
Like, I don't have air conditioning in the house, which I'm cool with. I'm fine with it. Danielle always complains.
Yeah.
But I think it's comfortable. Even if it's like 75 degrees in the house,
Right.
I feel good. But like if I go to work or my parents' house and the AC is even like at 68, I'm freezing. Like, I'll go in there shivering.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I go into my parents' house, and their house is at like 74, 75, and I walk in and I start to sweat.
Yeah, not me. I'm like,
Like,
oh,
what is this?
this feels good.
It's insane. But yeah, you said something like, I'd rather not be cold all the time or something like that. And I'm like, dude, I'd rather throw on a hoodie than be 100
Yeah.
pounds overweight. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
I'd rather just put on a fucking sweater.
Yeah, like even today when it was like, what, 70 degrees outside?
Yeah.
I was freezing.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, it felt so good today.
And Danielle said the same thing.
I still had the AC on in the car.
Not me.
Yeah.
I had the windows. I've been rolling the windows down
Yeah.
like this whole entire past 3 weeks.
I'm all AC.
I had one window cracked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when I'm like driving home at like midnight, it's like 65 out. I got the AC on as low as it'll go, like on probably like the medium setting, blasting in my face. And only half the time I'll like turn it down. I won't turn it off. But I also think that has to do with, I think this is the first vehicle I've had that actually has really good
It had
air
AC.
conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the one before it was okay, but not quite as good. And this one, I'm just like, I'm going to have AC all the time. And people always say, like, AC affects your miles per gallon.
Yeah.
Which it might, I don't know. But my car gets like 35 miles a gallon.
So you can shave a few
so
off.
yeah,
It's
like
good.
it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But some of the benefits of being big, not too many people fuck with you. Like, it's about it. Like,
All right.
There's not really that much. It sucks, like, shopping sometimes.
Like for clothes.
Yeah, because I'm in the 3X category, which sucks. And most places will max go up to like 2X. Sometimes you'll get
really
the
does
3. But even, like, for example, like for jeans and stuff or like pants, I like not like skinny jeans, but more like tightish but stretchy jeans kind of thing. And a lot of times they don't go up to my size because they're like, dude, you're too fat. You don't need to be wearing these. And I'm like, but I like them. So, like, I can never find them. I found a couple pair, but they're like fucking like $50, $60 a pair.
And that's the thing that sucks too.
Yeah.
Like when you are a bigger person and you need to get those types of clothes, like it's way more expensive.
Right.
It's like, what the hell? Why am I paying more just because I didn't pay more to be this way?
Well, I did. I bought a lot more food than you. But, like, yeah, so I wear a size 13 shoe. I was looking at StockX today, just looking at shoes. Recently, there was a Nike SB that came out that's a Grateful Dead kind of thing. I'm not a huge fan of the Grateful Dead or anything, but, like, the colorway is really cool.
Yeah.
And I was just looking, and one of them in my size is $6,000.
What?
Which obviously is way too much. But the other sizes are like 2,300 and stuff like that. And I'm like,
nuts.
what? But that's all market. That's all market.
Yeah.
That's kind of supply and demand. But yeah, like everything that's bigger, like obviously you might have to pay a little more for like more fabric or whatever when it comes to jeans. But like, not
usually
that
when
much.
it's that huge of a difference, you're not paying that much difference in fabric.
Right. Yeah, not that much. But yeah, so there's not very many benefits of being big. I guess I could save on like heating in the winter. Like that's about it. I also don't really need like huge jackets or anything like that in the winter. I have basically a Dickies jacket that's kind of like a Carhartt basically that I wear for everything, and that's about it. I rarely need to like bundle up.
Yeah, true that.
I just put like a beanie on and that, and I'm good. But
not me. I'm decked out.
Different fucking world. Different fucking world.
The other nice thing about being little is my fiance likes to take up the entire damn bed at night.
Most fiancés do, of the female kind.
Leave me with like this much space, which I'm perfect with.
Right.
Because being so little, I can deal with it.
See, I also get that much space, but I need like 3 times that much.
Right.
Like, it's a problem, dude. It's a problem.
Big difference.
Real quick, before we move on, we do have a sponsor that we need to shout out real quick. Coming off some great conversations.
Right, right.
Brubaker Photography. I got the spelling down. Don't even need to look at my phone. That delay was just for comedic purposes. Brubaker. Brubaker Photography.
Well done.
Definitely check them out on Facebook. Please like their page, follow them.
Share them.
Yeah, share the images. There's actually an option on there, which I would recommend people do if you appreciate the show and you want to help us out and help them out as well. If you go to the community tab on their Facebook page, there's an option to invite friends. And you can select random people. You can select all, like, whatever you want to do.
I've been getting some hits with that, too.
Yeah. So definitely invite your friends there. Get their page popping. I think they recently just got over 100 likes. So, so thank you guys for...
Keep it up, Brubaker.
Yes. Thank you guys for supporting the show. And then thank you to the fans for supporting our sponsor as well. I don't think they've posted the... phone versus DSLR yet.
No.
Phone versus camera. I checked earlier today. This is on Sunday, just so you guys know. But definitely check out their page because I think they're doing that every week. But yeah, definitely, show them some love. Tell them we sent you and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But yeah, thank you to Brubaker Photography. Last topic. I mean, unless we get on a fucking tangent, or I get on a tangent.
I was gonna say, don't
and
say
just
we on
piss
this
off
one.
people.
Let's keep some fan base, bruh.
Well, okay, so let's be real. So, like I said, I've been doing.
Oh, here we go.
Well, no, we're only gonna keep it a little real. Like, so I've been doing this for about a year, right? So at this point, I'm comfortable pissing people off.
I see.
You're not quite there yet, which is fine. But I'm trying to get you there. I'm trying to throw you in the deep end. Do you know how to swim?
I do.
Sweet. Then next week you got to come with some fire. No, but the last topic we wanted to talk about was actually kind of buying your home versus renting your home. Because obviously, as you guys can tell, Baker's the more adult one here.
I try.
And I am the child, and I will always be a child.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's some things wrong with that, but
just be a child at heart.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I take care of my shit. I pay my bills, but like, you know, when we talk, I'm like a 12-year-old with a bigger vocabulary, basically, and more life experience. That's a very good way
to put it, though.
Yeah. I like that.
All right.
Maybe we'll make that the title of the episode.
Yeah.
12-year-old with a bigger vocabulary. I don't know. We'll make it something fun. But yeah, so you own a house.
Yeah.
How long have you had it?
3 years now.
3 years?
3.5 years.
Okay. Wow, it's been that long.
Yeah.
So I thought this was actually a good topic to kind of be a little more serious on, because people, we'll see how long that lasts, but people like always say, you know, why, instead of renting, why don't you buy your house or buy a house? Because the mortgage is often cheaper than renting, which is true the majority of the time. Like, excuse me, for example, your house is way nicer than where I'm living right now, and I pay a decent amount more than you a month. Yeah. Right? And again, your house is beautiful. It's awesome. It's basically the dream house for the most part. and you know, your monthly payment's a pretty reasonable one and things like that. And I live in a double. It's a nice place and things like that. And
it is nice.
We got the studio here, which is a perk as well.
Right.
But I pay a good amount more than you do, and you have the nicer house. So on the surface, it would seem like buying a house is cheaper and a little better financially. Yeah. But let's kind of go into it. What are some struggles of a homeowner that people don't think of?
Being your own landlord.
Okay.
I mean, like, if things go wrong, it's a perk. It sucks, but it's nice at the same time.
Okay.
Like, for instance, my old landlord at our old house, and dude, so much stuff was going wrong, and none of it would be getting fixed.
Right.
Like, none of it. So now if something happens at the house, we have no choice but to fix it. And we're the ones doing it, so we have to get it done.
Right. Now, do you, when something like goes wrong, do you usually hire somebody, or do you do it yourself? Depending on what it is,
I was going to say, it depends on what it is. So one time, one of our water pipes downstairs broke.
Oh, God.
And that was not something that we could fix on our own. So we had to hire somebody for that. But, I mean, depending on the job and those types of things, you know, we've hired people like we had our whole electric switched out. It was old knob and tube. So we had somebody come in and switch that out. Obviously, somebody come in and do our roof, garage doors.
Right.
But like,
did you get those? You said those were coming?
Oh, dude, they're dope.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's so much nicer. But like, I switched. Like, I didn't have to call an electrician when we switched our like ceiling lights to a ceiling fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
Who'd you call?
Me. I did it.
Who else did you call?
Yeah, you helped.
yeah, I did.
That's another downfall about being little, man.
Right, that's true.
Ceiling fans are freaking heavy.
Yeah, guess who held it for 10 minutes while you fucking hooked it up?
Yep,
appreciate just like, it. Okay, man, like...
Hey, I didn't call you for the kitchen one, though.
You didn't?
Nope, I did that one.
That's... Okay, yep.
Aha.
What else?
Let's see. But I mean, like... I don't have to call anybody for the yard. Me and Danielle did that, the entire thing. Like, it was a completely different backyard than what you've seen.
It definitely was, yeah.
But we did all of that. I pull trees and stuff like that. So a lot of things you can do on your own to make it how you want to, but there's other things where I'm just like, dude, this is way out of my zone.
Right.
Like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, speaking of yard work, that was one thing that I thought of too. Like, it's very simple, but as far as like mowing and stuff like that. So I live in a double, so the landlord takes care of that.
Yep.
So there's a guy out here every week or whatever that mows and stuff. And that's all well and good, but like, if I owned this place, I would have to mow, which isn't bad. It's not a massive yard or anything like that. But if I go to buy a house that I want to buy a house basically in the country or something similar, I would rather wait on buying a house until I can afford something like that than buying something that I got to like fix up a lot and, in the city and stuff. That's just me though. But so I was thinking about that, like yard work wise, like to buy a house with a decent yard, you basically have to also buy a riding lawnmower or push mow it all, which is fine. But the yard that I kind of want, you don't want to
push mow it.
Right. So that's a whole nother investment.
But also that, I mean, both of us work full-time jobs.
I was going to say, dude, everything you got to do is like another full-time job.
And like the thing that sucks is, first and foremost, I do not want to mow my yard before work.
Right.
Like, because I work second shift, so I don't want to be getting up in the morning and exhausting myself and then going to work for another 8 hours.
And you got like a decent hill and stuff too, don't you?
Dude, it sucks.
Right.
Yeah. But I haven't mowed my yard for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I haven't had time. And this weekend I was like, all right, perfect. I don't work Saturday. I'm going to mow the yards. It rained all weekend.
Right.
So I couldn't even mow.
Right.
So that's the other thing that sucks.
Well, yeah, it's definitely just like another full-time job. And like, I always kind of attribute it to, financially speaking, again, on the surface, it sounds like it would be more responsible to buy the house, right? And sometimes that is the case if you can afford to buy basically like a brand new house or a newer house.
Yeah.
But a lot of us, we got to buy an older house, fix it up, and replace some electric and redo the yard and all that kind of stuff that you've done. I mean, you've put in hours of work into this house.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a ton of them, probably weeks at least.
Yeah.
I know you repainted like the whole living room and kitchen area and all that.
The whole downstairs has been repainted.
Right.
So the kitchen, dining room, mud room, living room,
right,
and then all the way going up the stairs has all been redone.
And what people don't get, like, to paint rooms in general probably won't take you all that long. But when you're working a full-time job and have a family and things like that, like, and you still got to do laundry and you still got to cook and you still got to do dishes and you got to, take the kids to practice and take them to school and whatever, help them with homework and, birthday parties and whatever the fuck you got to do.
Dude, a 3-day job turns into a 3-week job.
It took a while. It took a while. And that's not like hating on you or anything, but like.
It does.
It took a long time.
Dude, especially in the living room. We took down the wallpaper.
Yeah.
Layers on layers on layers on layers of wallpaper. They just snapped, just kept slapping it on.
Right.
So, yeah, that sucked. But, Danielle wanted to redo the living room, and I didn't because I knew how much work it was going to be. I knew it. So her and her mom actually did most of, the repainting, but I helped with that wallpaper. Dude, it sucked.
Right. I can imagine.
You start off doing a lot, and it's like, oh, this is going to take too long. But then you just keep running into these little things that take more and more time.
Right. That's the problem with fixing up a house is, to get one thing done, you have to fix 5 other things.
Yeah.
But, yeah, dude, renting is just so much easier.
It is.
It really is. I would gladly pay the little bit extra that I'm paying to not have to mow every week. We had an issue where our fridge was leaking a little bit. Not a big deal, but we called the landlord. He got it fixed, right? I didn't have to pay a repairman for that, and if they're here a couple hours, that's probably $100 bill right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just shit like that. If something goes bad with the hot water tank or something, I don't have to take that out of pocket. That's all covered. You know what I mean? So as long as you have a good landlord, I guess, it's so much better to rent, in my opinion, until you have kind of the time and can afford to buy the house and the expenses, really.
It's a huge decision.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Because people look at that mortgage number and they're like, that's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Right? But, like, then what people don't realize, too, is a lot of times, like, in an apartment, a lot of times in the apartment, a lot of things are included, right? Like water and electric or something like that, or something similar. So when me and Steve lived together, we lived in a 3-bedroom house. It was a big house, similar to as big as your house. Okay. It's not quite as nice, but it was a large house. And in just like gas and electric, we paid a couple hundred at least for just those two things. And like a lot of times in an apartment, that's included. So you see that mortgage payment of, I don't know, we'll say $600, just to throw a number out there. You don't realize like that's $600, but then you got to pay water, trash, electric, gas, all that kind of stuff on top of it.
Cable.
Right. So, internet, all that kind of stuff. Like, and it's way more than you think. Yeah. And especially if that hot water tank goes out, I mean, that's at least a couple hundred, couple thousand out of pocket, depending on what it is. And then you got to pay labor a lot of times. I don't know how to replace a hot water tank. No. Right?
No.
And,
it's not something you want to YouTube either.
Right. No way. No way. But yeah, there's just so many different things that you have to think of when you're a homeowner that a lot of people don't think of.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
In your experience, obviously you own the home. Would you at this point rather rent or buy Still buy?
Yeah. I mean, in the long run, it's worth it.
Right. Well, and you plan on being there a long time.
Ish, yeah.
Okay.
Me and Danielle have talked. She really wants something out like in the country, kind of like what you were talking about.
Okay.
I said if we do, we have to have acreage.
Right.
Like, because I want a dirt bike.
Right. Yep.
So she was like, all right, that's fine. But the nice thing is, what I really think it made, this is probably why I'm such an adult to your point.
Yeah.
Is because it's made me learn how to manage my money, because you've got to prepare for things like that just in case it happens.
Right.
But yeah, I would still go down the route of buying.
Well, like that's the other thing too. Like, again, you're way more adult than I am. And like you're talking about, we talked about before this, like you paid off a credit card and you do this and you fix this up and you buy new garage doors and shit like that. And I'm like, dude, like I'm renting and like I'm not responsible with money. Like I got shoes coming this week. Like, you know what I mean? I buy too much shit for the podcast and stuff like that. But it's because I don't have to necessarily worry about that hot water tank
prepare
going
for
out.
that stuff.
Now, I'm not saying it's a good idea that I buy all this stuff, but I kind of have the luxury of not having to worry about it, not having to worry about the lawn care guy, and things like that. So it is what it is. There's perks to both things.
There is.
But I urge people to kind of rent longer than, basically rent first and then buy.
Yeah. Wait till you're prepared.
I can't stand people that come out of high school or come out of college and say, I'm going to buy a house. And I'm like, look, if you're in a position to do it, that's cool. That's all well and good. And, I wish you well, but a lot of times you don't realize what it takes.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
Because even like cleaning your house, like that's a big fucking deal. Like that's
Dude.
That takes a long time, and you got 2 kids running around.
Yep, and 2 dogs.
Yeah, and buckets of toys and shit. Like, it's just
you know how many
so
times
much.
I've stepped on an Army Man?
Right. Oh my God.
Or a Hot Wheels.
Yep. Jeez, dude.
Yep, all the time.
So, yeah, I mean, I just encourage people to kind of rent a little while, and kind of try to save some money if you can.
Especially if you're going down the route of buying a house, make sure you have money saved for sure.
Right.
Because even after you buy it, things need done.
Right. Well, that's the thing too. Like right now, like I'll be honest, I'm living my best life. Like, you know what I mean? Like I got some shoes coming this week. I got a decent car that that has a nice car note on it every month. But like earlier today, I got a compliment on my car. You know what I mean?
It's nice,
and it's nice to kind of get that feeling. And I'm sure it's similar to when I compliment the house and things like that. It's a great feeling. But right now, like I want new lights for the podcast. I want I want to launch merch for the podcast.
Right.
I want to launch a website. I want to, we just got new furniture in the house.
You want to launch a website?
Well,
you did.
Well, right, but that's what I'm saying. Like with my money and stuff like that. These are the things that I want to spend my money on right now, and then maybe eventually the podcast will pay for my house.
Yeah, I mean that's the way you've got to look at it too. Is look at the long term game of it. So yeah, you're investing this money in all of this stuff, but at the same time, down the road, it could be a good investment. Right.
So like a house is a good investment. Like everything that you guys have done to the house, I don't know what you paid for it or anything like that, but like, it's definitely a lot nicer than it was when you bought it. I was there the first night actually.
Yeah.
That was a crazy night, but
dude, man,
we probably shouldn't speak on that, but
nope.
That was a crazy night, but
it's the good thing about having big friends.
Well,
I was scared.
Yeah. Yeah, but we'll probably not talk about that. But
yeah, right.
But you could probably, I don't know, but you could probably sell the house now for more than what you bought it for.
Dude, I looked it up the other day.
Yeah,
significant increase in value.
Yeah. Is it just because of everything you guys have done, or the property value?
It's the property value.
Nice.
Because I just looked it up just to see what it was like, and they don't know they don't know what we've done to it, right?
Right.
But dude, it went up a lot.
Right. So there you go.
Crap.
So that's a great investment, right? And that's all well and good, and you can afford it, and you have the financial kind of success to be able to do that. And right now, for me, I would rather invest my money on this and kind of my quote unquote business. It's weird to refer to a podcast as a business, but it kind of is. Like we have money coming in every month. We got merch money. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of cool, man. We
got to sit down and have discussions about what we're going to discuss. And
right. We got to plan shit out. We got to figure out some marketing. We got to, run some ads on Facebook and
going back and forth about a logo.
Right. And just, it's a lot of work, and I would rather invest my money in this right now.
Yeah.
And then maybe, hopefully long term, it'll help me get a house later or something like that. Obviously, this is all long term, and if it doesn't happen, that's fine too. But it's just something interesting to think about. I don't think people kind of understand what all goes into owning a house.
Yeah,
basically.
Yep.
So, any final words on any of the fucking million topics we've talked about today?
No, I'm not.
Anybody you want to piss off?
I'm not trying to piss anybody
before
off.
we close out.
No.
God.
Nope.
I don't know what's wrong with me, man. Like I don't know.
Maybe you need a journal, like my dream journal.
Oh, did you want to talk about that for a minute?
We can.
Okay.
So, I did this.
Okay.
Because I read somewhere where you can like tell a lot by your dreams.
Right.
I guess
you can look up like what things mean and stuff.
And I haven't yet, but I was like, you know what? I remember my dream, and I never remember my dreams, so I wrote it down.
Okay.
Bear with me. It's crazy.
Well, okay. So real quick, Baker, like we started talking before this, and he was like, dude, this is crazy. And he read the first line, and I was like, hold on. Like,
let's wait for this.
Do you want to talk about this on the podcast? Because, like, this already sounds fucking great.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hold on, let's save it. So this is the first time I'm hearing it.
Dude, so it's a dream, right? So it's completely random. And I have no idea where this came from. I don't know. So cliff notes to my dream here.
Okay.
So I broke into a place to get house records.
That's where I stopped him right there. I was like, hold on.
Yeah, don't know why or whose house records, but it was me and a friend. Don't even know who it was. And then we ran away, and then the friend's parents stopped us on our way. They had a convo with us and then took us home.
Okay.
On our way home, we stopped at this secret cemetery behind a house. Like, they pulled up on a street and then just started backing up and, like, went through, like, pine trees.
Backwards?
Just reversed it to this place. I'm like,
Interesting.
okay, what in the world? So, all of a sudden, this witch
Oh, God. Okay.
tapped on the rear window. And so they told the mom, the driver, to get out. And she did. And then during this whole process, the secret cemetery was located by a house. So we could see this house. This house was getting robbed,
Okay.
like by gunpoint.
Oh, God.
And so somebody made a sound, and the guys came out and shot everybody.
Including you.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
So I was in the passenger side and ducked my head when he shot, so it nicked my neck.
Nicked your neck.
Yeah, it nicked my neck.
Okay.
So like he shot, and I was already ducked, so he was like shooting into the car, and I ducked, and it just like nicked my neck. So I was like, oh my gosh, and I played dead until whatever,
Right.
like everybody left, and then all of a sudden everybody else that got shot like stood up, and I woke up. Dude, craziest thing.
Zombies.
Yeah, like
Zombies.
and that would make sense why the witch was there and stuff like that. But I was like, dude, where in the hell did this dream come
What
from?
the hell?
Like, I was watching, I think, Ozark. It's about
Okay.
money laundering,
Right.
like nothing to do with witches or anything of that nature. But
Huh.
yeah, so
We definitely need somebody to analyze that dream for
yes,
us.
please.
Get on. How about this? How about this? Get on the community boards on averageafpodcast.com and submit what you think this dream meant.
Yes.
Please
Please
get
do.
on there and analyze Baker's dream as crazy as you want it to be, or if you think it's a legit like analysis, that's fine too. But let's hear some awesome descriptions of why, maybe Baker's troubled.
I said maybe.
Maybe he's got a witch fetish. I don't know. I don't know the man's life. You know what I mean? I don't know what goes on in his head.
Shoot.
You guys know what goes on in my head because
All right.
I just say it. So,
I can't even say this goes on in my head. I don't, like I said,
Well,
I don't
right.
know where it went on.
right. That's definitely
Blows my
interesting. Definitely interesting.
I look forward to that feedback, though,
Yes,
in
yes.
my dream analysts out there.
Analysis.
Analysts. Yeah, I don't know.
I was going to say something I won't this time. I'm learning.
I guess we can't make the titles 12-year-olds with a big vocab because I'm out of that one.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm too dumb for that title. How do you spell vocab? But cool. Well, thank you guys for checking out episode 54. As always, follow us on all the socials. Hit up, like I said, averageafpodcast.com. Hit the support the show tab to join the Patreon. We got new bonus episodes coming out this week and things like that. If you want to see the old bonus episodes, they're actually going to be live on YouTube now every Friday as well. And then cop some merch. We got the hoodies. We got shirts, we got masks, we got coffee mugs,
Everything.
we got ladies tanks, we got ladies shirts, you know what I mean? We got a little bit of everything.
Yep.
And then if you guys get your merch this week, please send us a picture or post something, tag us,
Show
all that
the
kind of
love.
stuff. Yep. But we appreciate you guys and have a good night.
Till next week. Peace.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.